Here's why you never see any videos or interviews of Colonel Sanders' blood relative family. Now, I've always been public about my relation to Colonel Sanders. It wasn't always a big publicity thing until a few years ago, but I've never hid the fact. If something was related that popped up in my feed, I'd make a comment. And people would reach out to me, starting from back when I was 15 years old. They'd reach out to me and want to know things. Do you know the recipe? Do you know this, that, or yada, 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 yada. They ask me if I know members of my family, like the Colonel's grandchildren, blah, 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 blah. And one of them emailed me for a while. I kept giving them fake recipes I was finding on the internet just for fun because I thought it was funny. I was a kid. But they insisted that they knew the recipe. They insisted that they were going to be given the recipe by the Colonel's own grandchildren. And they were telling me this. Now, I haven't always had the greatest relationship with the Colonel's grandchildren because I didn't get to know them growing up. And I was just a person on the internet when I reached out to them. They didn't know anything about the Sanders side of the family. They just knew Mildred's side existed, and they knew their side existed, and they knew Cousin Lee existed. And they knew their stories, and that's it. So when I reach out to them, they at first responded with blocking me, and that ticked me off. And I wanted people to know it ticked me off. But later on, as I got older, I understood why they did this. And it's because of people who contacted me asking for money or asking if I know the recipe or asking if I know all these other family members and just trying to get information out of us or harass us for information, whatever. So me, publicly talking about Colonel Sanders and reaching out to them asking if they want to connect is basically traumatizing and PTSD from other people who have no relation to the family, either pretending that they do or somebody trying to get something out of them. That's why you don't see it, because people, they don't want to deal with people. All of our family knows our stories. And I love that my page is now a place where all the family could tell their stories on it and not be harassed by random people. But this one guy that contacted me really thought that the Colonel's own grandchildren were going to welcome them into their home and have a conversation with some random person on the internet that's done years of research on what they think Uncle Harley's recipe is, and that the grandchildren are going to give them the information that they know. No, they're not going to do that. I don't know why they thought they were going to do that, but they're not going to do that. They don't want to do that. They don't want to be bothered with that stuff. They want to live their own life. It's actually led a lot of the family not to even want to engage in the legacy anymore and just move on. Because that's all people want is information of the recipe or whatever. Or asking about money. And also with other people, like Joe Lettington claiming that they have the recipe and then leaking it. Things like that is why you don't see our family speaking out or talking about things. I don't care. I'll deal with the people. And if you're full of crap, I'm going to tell you you're full of crap, and if it ticks you off, too bad. But that's why you don't see the Colonel's family.